Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime No Mi. Today, following the One Piece videos here on the channel, we will talk about Busoshoku Haki. We know that Haki is an essential technique in the world of One Piece, being the main way to fight opponents that use Logia-type devil fruits, as well as allowing the user to further strengthen their body. During the anime we see different types and colors of Busoshoku Haki being used over time, mainly by Luffy, where we see different colors of Busoshoku Haki being used by him in his attacks as he got stronger and stronger. In today's video we will talk about the colors of Busoshoku Haki shown in the anime and manga so far in One Piece, and we will mention the possibilities of why this power changes according to use and how it can increase the user's powers. We will also see the possibility of Busoshoku Haki's form demonstrating the user's Haki level. Hope you can help us by leaving your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you are still new here and leave your comments saying your opinion and what are the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, Busoshoku Haki at the beginning of the One Piece manga was considered an invisible power, an invisible armor, as if it was just the user's life energy covering their arms without the need to be displayed. For a long time Busoshoku Haki was demonstrated in this way, and with that we didn't know who had and who didn't have this power. After all, it wasn't something that was easily explicit or easy to deduce, or rather, we didn't know if the character really had control over this type of Haki or not. Even during the Great Battle of the Best in Marineford it was difficult to deduce who possessed or not the power of this Haki, as we saw that Edward Newgate managed to land blows on Akainu, and he did it without even showing his fist or items being coated with Haki. With that, we weren't able to know whether or not they were using this power, and we didn't know who was capable of taking on Logia-type devil fruit users. We could only guess in the course of battles whether the character was using this power or not. But after the time skip, the concept of Haki was improved and also better explained, and then a way was created to visually present the use of this power, so from that moment it became visible who has it or not, as we see in his hand or sword the Haki armor. After the visual change, we see that Busoshoku Haki now becomes a black armor with a gray light around it. However, over time, we see this light changing to different colors such as purple, blue, red among many other colors of powers depending on the user. It turns out that in addition, we see that in some cases the Haki of some users was still invisible as in the original, in addition to others being totally unique, such as Virgo's Haki. There are several possibilities that can justify this change in the color of power, so let's talk about the possibilities that make the most sense. Starting with the possibility that the power transformation is based on feelings, the power color change is based on the feeling, the emotion that the user is feeling. Each of the transformations can signify a different emotion, and this makes sense as the Haki is created from the user's vitality, so whatever he may be feeling can be shown through the color of his Busoshoku Haki. In this way, many fans believe that if we take a closer look at the Haki, we would know what the characters who are fighting are really feeling when they use the Haki. However, we don't know what each transformation of Haki could represent. After all, it was never said by the author what the change in the form of the Haki would really represent in the emotion of the Haki user. Returning to the subject of the video, a lot of people also believe that the transformations in the power of Haki are based on the level of the power of the Haki, starting with the invisible Haki and also the Haki in the standard form of armor, being the power used by all users who would not have a good mastery over the Busoshoku Haki technique. Thus, according to this possibility of power levels, the base form being the lowest rank among the Haki. Soon after we have the Haki with gray lights that is used by many users after the time skip, which is what Luffy uses for a long time, but after the events in Dressrosa, we see Busoshoku Haki again changing. We then see purple Haki, being the most used by powerful characters like Virgo, who is considered one of the best characters to control this power. He is one of the most skilled Haki users, even managing to coat his entire body in Busoshoku Haki. According to this possibility, purple Haki proves to be the most balanced Haki in terms of power, in which users with good control of Haki can use them, demonstrating that users who can achieve this Haki transformation are very strong. Also, we saw that Katakuri has shown to have blue Haki, but this power was used in specific moments of the fight. Maybe it's because he still doesn't have control over this power, because his Haki may still be in development, so he's not able to consciously use it. Now let's talk about the Haki that are considered the strongest, being extremely resistant and considered the most powerful so far, starting with the red Haki that we saw that only Luffy has. When using his Gear 4, Luffy is able to use red Busoshoku Haki, being extremely powerful, able to almost cover his entire body with it, only leaving small parts of his body unprotected without the Haki armor, almost reaching the level of Virgo, who can coat his entire body with Haki, although Luffy's Haki level currently appears to be more advanced. Maybe he still doesn't have enough mastery to be able to completely reverse this transformation of Haki, or the Haki is more resistant. And finally, let's talk about the most recent Haki demonstrated so far, being Busoshoku Haki with white lights, a type of Haki that some powerful characters have such as Luffy, Kaido, Edward, Big Mom, Garp and even Shanks. Currently we see this transformation of Busoshoku Haki only used by powerful characters, especially for those who have the Haki of the Conqueror, and it may even be a coincidence or it may contain some relationship. Because several powerful characters from the past possess this Haki transformation, it could mean that this is a different kind of use of Haki. However, Luffy may be able to perfect his Haki so that it becomes even more powerful than the Haki of one of the Yonko, making a new transformation of Haki appear, something similar to what we saw when Luffy used Golden Haki, becoming a new way to use Busoshoku Haki. Many people believe in the possibility of different forms of presentation of Haki to increase the power of the technique, because when Luffy activates Gear 4, which is his most powerful technique, his Haki turns red. Through this technique he managed to use red Haki in his transformations, allowing him to become much stronger. During his first appearance we see that red Haki would then be stronger and more resistant than purple Haki. Because Luffy easily managed to hit Doflamingo when punches collided, this Busoshoku Haki was only defeated by the Yonkas, who had an even stronger Haki, he being the advanced Haki. As stated earlier, Katakuri was also able to create a new Haki transformation. Even though this happened for a short time, there may still be a possibility that in the future he will demonstrate the complete transformation of the new Haki. So Luffy, after fighting Katakuri, maybe he would be able to utilize the same level of Haki, or even as stated earlier, he would be able to create the full version of Golden Haki, which is the Haki he unconsciously used with his Busoshoku Haki. Although, as we know, a fight in One Piece doesn't just depend on Haki, but also on the user's strength and intelligence to make a strategy that would allow him to beat his opponent even if he is at a disadvantage. A good example to demonstrate that the different transformations of Haki can indeed represent the user's ability is during Oden's flashback, where he had purple Busoshoku Haki. During the conflict against Roger, the Pirate King's Haki was able to defeat the Oden's Haki easily, but during his confrontation with Kaido, even though he was using purple Haki, he managed to cut Kaido, also using his purple Haki with the Conqueror's Haki, making the big cut that makes even Kaido proud of this fight. But in Luffy's case, we saw that he couldn't even damage Kaido, only when his Busoshoku Haki reached the advanced level. After that he managed to do great damage to Kaido, as well as being able to rival his blows with him, preventing him from being thrown away during the attacks he received. So the transformation of Haki may have something related to the strength that the user has. After all, even though it is a minimal change, there is a change in the form of the Haki when the Haki is being used in an advanced way. And the last possibility of today's video is that it is just changes for aesthetics, as Oda can ask the anime's production to change the shapes of the Haki transformations just to illustrate the different transformations. Making the anime can give a spoiler or hint about something that could happen in the future, or just illustrating something he imagined while thinking about some character's way of fighting. One such example was when Oda asked the studio that adapts the manga to anime to change the setting standards in the current Wano arc. The entire environment, abilities and certain powers were changed. This was one of the reasons why the studio decided to completely change the art style of the Wano arc, making this amazing animation that we are currently seeing. So it could be a possibility that Busoshoku Haki changes are just for aesthetics, because in several drawings by Oda we see Luffy using his Busoshoku Haki with different transformations. Although this doesn't explain why some characters are using, for example, purple Busoshoku Haki, while Luffy and the powerful characters are utilizing these powers differently. But now I would like to know about your opinion. What would be the reason for this frequent exchange of Busoshoku Haki styles? May there be some mystery behind these power transformations? Leave your opinion in the comments. Until the next video. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga. So comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.